feel too?
I'm afraid so, Mr. Stark. Oh, I knew we shouldn't come all this way just to make a picture, Max. What was wrong with the stand in California? At least there ain't no murder in my
Get a hold of yourself, Val.
It was all stupid Rose's fault. That little quick one at the plane ride. She sweet talked Max into this stupid trip.
Mon Dieu, she does not know.
No what, Frenchie?
Where have you been the last hour?
Please, you not to look as any of your business. The three of you? Rose is too young to play cards. Correction. Rose is too dead to play cards.
Oh, she was murdered in that very chair not an hour ago.
No! How did it happen?
A South American blow dart. Oh no. My poor darling little sister. Oh, poor dear. She may have been dumped, but she with no pink cushion. Who did it? My dear, if we knew that, we would have told the inspector already.
Told me what?
Unfortunately, there's been another murder. Rose Littell has been poisoned. She was about to tell me something strange she had seen when that was it. Someone must have been standing on the terrace and struck her with that big old blow dart.
But this is terrible news. Turn up any side of Mrs. Towers. Nothing but this. But this.
We got an education on the last trip to New York. The professor doted on her so. It cost $349.
Ooh-la-la. Fortunately, there is no tar. The fountain is the edge of the carpet.
Topic? You mean somebody threw the poor creature in? Apparently, the ghost of King Rosamund himself.
The only consolation is that she will be preserved for all time.
Juliet said Mrs. Towers was holding a golden pot when she was dragged out of the room. Any sign of it at the tar pits, Inspector?
Nothing.
But that piece was worth 100 grand.
Why would a mummy care about money?
Oh, Max, I need some air. Get me out of this crummy joint. Take me home. My poor little Rose. We're just like twins. Oh, dear.
What is it?
That could be one way.
Mr. Dubba. Mr. Take no substituting yet.
You mean we're trapped here?
Until the killer is found.
You can't keep us here against our will. I'll send the Texas Rangers on you.
That fool! He doesn't even care about poor Rose. Oh, poor Ivy. Poor Ivy.
Could it be that Monsieur Stark had the ooh-la-las in his towers? But then, he would not have killed her. No?
I hope you don't mind, Inspector. I'm having some information relayed to me from Interpol.
You are onto something.
Possibly.
Oh, I love it when those little gray cells begin to put 2 plus 2 together.
That is absolute. Gus! You're wasting our time slaughtering like this, monsieur. We have work to do before the killer strikes again.
That's what you have us do.
We must search the rooms.
But the suspects are all in their room.
Of course. Let me see. Well, we were invited to see the key artifacts from the tomb of King Rosamund. Let us see them. And a clever little addition will be sure to rattle a few bones.
Really, it's rather inappropriate gathering us here for a lecture when there are body being stacked up everywhere.
I can understand your feelings, Mr. Whittington. But perhaps there is something in the treasure that will give us a clue. Humor me. Go ahead, Miss Patrick.
Hey, you're always trying to upstage me. You don't think a woman can get the story like Redhead. But I wouldn't put it past you to commit the crime just so you'd have something to report, Mr. Crane.
So you're the police, judge, and jury all rolled into one great package, are
I'm just a darn good reporter.
I must interrupt. Who are you two?
Some cry for your funeral.
we? Boy, can you play?
The media is not what we need at a time like this. If you wish to remain, you must cooperate by being silent. No. So, you were not in the house at the time of the first murder, and Mr. Crane?
Not a chance. I had to rent a donkey to get out here. And he was almost as stubborn as some people I know.
Then you could have.
Now, wait a minute.
All in due time. But for now, we are into the most interesting presentation. Make yourselves comfortable. Patrick, please.
We knew that King Rodlux had been buried in the Valley of Tingling sometime before 2200 BC. There's early mention of his tomb from the writer architect Al Wandin. He wrote, "Today we broke ground for the first time. The earth is so deep hard that we broke our beef bags. The this beef spot should go in the beep himself."
What was the gap? A road runner?
Al Wandin was known for colorful language. At any rate, we had to find the opening to the tomb. Originally, King Rodlux was supposed to be buried in a pyramid, but after lying the first level of granite, he gave up and wanted the tomb would stand. He put up signs like this one. But they were quickly taken by early Egyptian teenagers who liked to hang up road signs in their bedrooms. So it wasn't long before the location of the tomb went off the face of the desert. Oh, sorry. That was until one day, a man named Harfa got mad at his wife. He said she cooks corn like a crow. This was a great insult. She wasn't going to take this lying down, so she grabbed her rolling pin and chased him off into the desert. Harfa roamed the dunes for 3 days, too afraid to return home. On the 3rd day, he fell into a hole. This was the tomb of King Rodlux. He ran back to the authorities, and they, in turn, contacted Professor Towers, who was the world authority on King Rodlux, which brings us to what was found in the tomb. Here is an ancient burial box containing some of the most precious possessions of King Rodlux. Here, for example, is a Shabbat is a picture of the sacred boat used to transport the king and...
What's wrong, Miss Partridge?
This isn't the sacred boat. For crying out loud, what is it? A message. A message of doom. Look, read it already. I know your secrets, all of them. One of you killed the three, and your identity is known only to me!
So, what y'all doing in my stall, ma'am?
Really? Miss Maple?
Nosing about. We hang stoops in Texas. And do you know what they do to thieves in Egypt? It isn't very pretty.
What are you talking about? The Golden Hawk. How did you get there?
Easy. Go.
Solid. Worth 100,000 American dollars. 1/3 of what you collected from the investors of this expedition. An expedition which only cost you $50,000. So, Mr. Deplehart, what happened to the rest of the money?
It's tied up.
A tattered you yacht, swimming pool, gambling debts, Max, you swine!
Oh, he's been quite a little piggy, swiping things here and there around the house to make sure he could pay the investors back. But more importantly, if Ivy was last seen with the hawk, Mr. Deplehart, how did you get it?
Now hold on, wait a minute. I don't know how that got in here. So, I don't keep the best books in town. That don't mean I'm a killer.
So, what do I do now?
You got in the door in public. There are other pictures.
But 1/3 of that 300,000 is mine, Miss Maple. If I ever see that Max again, I'll kill him.
Miss Michael. Well, you're the last girl I'd ever think to find Max's room. You got around there good tonight. With some evidence, yes. Anything you said, ma'am. So you ain't seen Lyle around here, have you? I just want to go over some wines with him. Well, I believe he went that way, Mrs. Stark. Mrs. Stark? Why, Miss Maple, you are just the silliest little thing. Why would you call me Mrs. Stark? There's no use hiding it, Violet. I know you are secretly married to Mr. Lyle Stark. I found your marriage certificate inside of his jacket pocket, the pocket closest to his heart. Oh, such a romantic. But you can't tell nobody, Miss Maple. If the public ever found out he's hitched twice, his career would be over. Who else knew of your marriage? Why, nobody. Really? 'Cause I can tell by that twitch of your eye, something's wrong. I don't know what you mean. I found a note in your room. It threatens that either you pay a certain amount or news would be leaked to the press. A note from your sister. You can't prove nothing, honey. Nothing.
What makes you think I'm waiting for someone? You checked your watch. I just wanted to know what time it was. You not fool, Hercules Potter. You are here to meet who? A man you love. A woman you must pay to keep quiet about a dark secret in your past.
Ridiculous.
The next victim you intend to eliminate.
Try my lawyer. I intend to sue you for slander.
Miss Periwinkle seems very upset.
She is hiding something.
Yes. It appears from a receipt I found in her handbag and positively passionless, even if her hieroglyphics were top-notch.
A woman's scorn can be very dangerous. Yes?
Perhaps. But how did she put that snake in the basket and knock? We were all in the same room. I have not been sleeping in your room, Peter.
Really, Sylvia, because somebody moved my yellow rubber ducky. I always put it next to the tub, but somebody put it in the sink.
Forgive me, Molly. I did not know you loved the yellow rubber ducky so. I thought you loved the ladies.
So you have rummaging through my face.
We must know the truth.
That's for all of our dates.
And we have learned much.
Just what did you find, Monsieur Porkchop?
You must be more careful when you burn your mail in the fireplace. I have found the merest fragment of a letter you received.
A bill, that's all.
You have received many bills lately, have you not?
I spend money like everyone else.
Although me, you spend money like a king, and now you must pay the pooper.
Hyper.
You apparently owe £300,000 in back tax. If you cannot come up with the cash, you will end up in prison.
So I've been having a cash flow problem.
Someone has turned off the faucet. And perhaps to turn it back on, you have resorted to murder.
Ridiculous.
Or could this have been a love letter? Perhaps there is yet another lady in your life. Well, under the scrutiny of Hercules Porkchop, I may reveal the motive. Or worse.
Monsieur Porkchop. Monsieur Porkchop.
Was it not love letters? Edie?
I was burning bills.
That little twin I can handle, Peter. But someone else other than her? Boy, it might just drive me to murder.
Gee, Miss Maples, what are you doing in my room?
Clues, my dear. We must find clues.
What are you talking about?
3 murders.
Gee, don't think I need.
Why not? You were the professor's long-lost daughter from his first marriage, were you not?
You're kidding, right?
Well, this letter I found in your room explains your interest in this expedition.
Give me that.
Probably the last letter your mother had the energy to write. A confession?
Gosh, you can imagine how much she hated Egypt. She wanted no part of Professor Tower's work. So she took me to America and raised me there, and told me all along I was left on her doorstep one day. She struggled all these years, and Professor Tommy Towers never tried to help. He never came to see me. He never bought me an ice cream cone, nothing. He was so absorbed in his work. It's like I didn't even exist.
But he did finally search for you. And when he found you, he tried to see you. But your mother wouldn't let him.
Gosh, how'd you know that?
He wrote me about it years ago. Finally, he just gave up.
Gosh, I wish I could believe that. I came here hating him, but then I saw how much he loved this place, and now I'm so confused.
A most delicious dinner, Chef Fondue.
Merci, Monsieur Porkchop.
You beat the eggs to death, madame.
They should be dead, just like some people in this world.
Your life has been no bowl of berries, has it not?
Cherries, Monsieur Porkchop.
That is what I said.
My life has been like a Swiss steak. I've been pounded, fried, and smothered in tomato sauce.
Until Professor Towers came along.
Yes, he was the kindest, most generous man.
He did not deserve to die so.
Not when there are so many others who need to go first.
But, madame, who are we to decide?
For a smart man, you are so stupid.
Girls!
Yes. Make sure to put the chocolates on the trays for each room. It's time to turn down the beds. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, Marshal Goldshot. I have things to attend to.
She runs the tight shift, does she not?
Tight shift.
That is what I said. You three girls are now out of work, I fear.
It's awful.
What will you do?
We're gonna be in pictures.
Oh, so you'll now work for Monsieur Blowoff.
We aren't positive yet. He said he wants 3 sisters in the desert built. 3 of us can be rescued by line.
This will change your lives forever, will it not?
Oh yes, Marshal Goldshot. We do anything to get into pictures. Going somewhere, Tarantella? The spirits have warned me. Not really. I know Mrs. Towers owed you a good deal of money. She was cheap beyond words. And the professor? He scoffed at my predictions. Ha! To what end we have seen. I will now be the world's greatest soothsayer. An excellent motive for murder, Tarantella. To that, the cards say, baloney, Miss Maples. Yes, phony baloney. But don't leave now, Tarantella. For it's the surest way to make people think that you are the perpetrator of the Cobra's kiss. I care not what other people think. Hello, Professor Towers' residence, Jessica Maples speaking. Oh, really, yes. Agent Smythe. Agent Smythe. Oh, you have? Yes, that's just what I thought. Yep, that verifies my suspicions completely. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Well, that was a call from Interpol, International Police Organization, confirming my worst suspicions. With these facts, I know who the killer is. Unfortunately, facts aren't enough to provide Inspector Zedector with the necessary evidence to convict. Yes, there has to be a way to make the killer confess. Oh, good heavens! Oh, my goodness!
Oh, Jessica! You are saved, Jessica! I fear for your life!
I'm all right! The shots came from outside.
So, I have found the killer.
You're crazy. I couldn't hurt a fly. I didn't kill anyone.
Gosh, I heard shots. There hasn't been another murder, has there? Well, apparently the inspector has turned up something important.
It's about time.
I'll look the camera.
Who's got the scoop?
Daddy still builds this house. I warn you.
Tear it to the eye page. Good money getting back to you, so I can't stand in this house
But
anymore!
first, I must warn everyone. Death lurks around every corner.
So, Miss Mary, your rendezvous for your ticket out of here, yes? But who? How the gunshots bring up the dirty laundry.
Dirty indeed. I want this to stop having to pockets with this.
It's just what the well-dressed mummy was wearing. That's right. I saw with my own 2 eyes.
And now that you think no one is looking, you decide to dispose of the evidence.
No, you've got this all wrong.
Right where you disposed of Mrs. Towers.
No, never. I couldn't.
You're quite right, Mr. Stark. You couldn't have.
What do you mean he couldn't have? He's been caught red-handed.
Red-handed, disposing of some old gauze. I would imagine imagine you found this in your suitcase?
Actually, my mate had a kid.
Realizing it wasn't yours and that whatever or whoever disposed of Mrs. Towers was wearing something along this line, you decided you had best get rid of it.
What else could I do?
Aside from that, it's too painful a memory, isn't it?
What are you talking about, Miss Maple?
Lyle, you were infatuated with Mrs. Towers since the 3rd grade, were you not? You see, Mr. Stark and Mrs. Towers lived in the same town. They went to the same school. They even sat behind one another. You loved her even after all of these years, didn't you?
I did. And when Max asked if I wanted to come here, why, I was the happiest man in the world.
And when you arrived, you and Mrs. Towers plotted to kill Professor Towers so you could run off. As soon as the deed was done, she rejected you. And that's when you killed her.
No, you've got this all wrong. You've got to believe me. I don't even throw her punches in the pictures.
Oh, Lyle. Then it was you that killed poor Rose.
She saw you and I be smooching in a dark corner.
I've never kissed Abby in my life. You're my only bundle of joy now, sugar.
Sounds to me as if you've got it all figured out, Monsieur Wolfdrop.
Maybe you're not as stupid as I thought you were at first. We must not jump to conclusions.
I'm sorry, Miss Mabel, but this one seems to be our bird. And now, he's going to get cooked.
Where are you taking me?
To the jail in Luxor before her path comes through.
And now, the card of justice.
Justice? You're hanging an innocent man. I didn't murder anyone. I did it.
Yes. The amalgamated press. Pronto.
Give me the phone. Ellie, you got the scoop on Towers' murder.
Wait. The line's dead.
You're trying to fool me, aren't you?
That fool probably wanted to kill us all.
Good class.
Really? We'll all sleep a whole lot better tonight.
Well, I won't sleep a wink. Blink, blink. Dare not blink. The cards reveal something stinks. One of us in this room is yet the purveyor of death and doom.
That can't be true.
The cards do not lie. When he's got the killer, it really can't be one of us. I think that yours is the fraud. How dare you! I am a member of Fortune Tellers International, Soothsayers Credit Union, and a former president of Clairvoyant Terrace! Remember your place. I'm gonna be in pictures now, and I don't care what my face is anymore. What you talking about, Max? Well, Violet, honey, I was on the lookout for the town.
New hell? That bimbo, she couldn't act her way out of a paper bag.
Violet, Bimbo, who do you think you are? Sarah Harper?
Do that. You and your big mouth things for you everything.
Honestly, you were my sister. So it's all clear now.
Gosh, I'm still in a fog.
I was the one who put the message in the burial box, Miss Partridge. I have uncovered all of the secrets of this house, and I know who the killer is. Oh, the killer was sharp enough to put the will, to steal the professor's will, but I found it in the killer's room.
Oh, what's the will prove?
I assume everything went to Ivy. Oh, Jessica, those little gray cells are churning and turning now.
Too much, I'm afraid. I must have some rest. We'll resume this in the morning.
Yes. Well, I suppose we can over to tell them. Good night. Good night. Good night.
house another night.
I want my money back. May you find a scorpion in your bed.
I won't sleep a wink tonight.
How are we supposed to get this information to the press now?
File it together.
Together.
Why not? You two are married, are you not? I can see the white line on your hand, where your ring was supposed to be. You are clever.
Ooh la la.
Now, please, Monsieur Porkchop, or I will have to resort to brute force.
We've been married for 6 months already. Nellie promised when we got married to give up this reporter's life.
And I tried, but I can't stay home and bake blueberry muffins.
I know. You nearly burned the kitchen down.
So when Professor opened the tube, I got the press to send me here. I thought if I could smoke out one good story, Lloyd here would understand this is in my blood.
Well, I think Lloyd knows that. You came here to bring Nellie back home, didn't you?
I don't want Nellie traveling all over the world. How could we ever raise a family?
You should have thought of that before you married me.
Nellie, wait!
Ah, Lemon, even when it goes sour, it is sweeter than honey.
Tarantella, do the cards say anything about love? Beware! The card for danger! Before dawn, the card of death may make a last appearance. Beware, Miss Maples!
So, you believe Mr. Stark is innocent?
He's an actor. He may kill a role, but not the professor. No, Mr. Stark was framed.
Then who is he?
Someone we must make come forward. We must make him trip on the rope that we give him. Or her. Now good night, Monsieur Porkchop.
What are you going to do down here?
I'll read for a while, perhaps fall asleep.
But you should stay in your room, behind a locked door.
But then the killer wouldn't have a chance now, would he?
A chance for what?
To kill me, of course. Good night, Monsieur Porkchop. Good night, Monsieur Porkchop. The night still has 1,000 eyes, and they won't let anything happen to me.
Very well. Good night.
Now, of course, you'll keep your eyes open, won't you? Yes. Maybe sometimes. Well, unfortunately, I feel a bit tired. The door opened slowly behind Agatha. She heard nothing, but could feel the hairs on the back of her neck rise. Something told her an intruder lurked in the shadows of the room. Could it be Charles? Could it be the man she loved? Or was it the killer? The killer who had terrorized the town for a week now. Why he had killed Mrs. Harding, no one knew. She was the kindest woman, a jolly baker whose mince pies were renowned for their flaky crusts. Perhaps she had a sordid past, but nothing was uncovered until... I thought as much, Mr. Whittingstone.
You're rather clever.
A bit foolish, you putting that gauze in Mr. Stark's makeup kit.
I underestimated you, but don't underestimate me.
You, of course, killed your uncle for his money.
Uncle Tom was so very, very rich. He had no idea what to do with any of the money he had. It would just piled up in the sandbox if it is with me. I know how to spend money. I overlook.
Monsieur Porkchop had that one figured out.
That idiot.
Monsieur Porkchop is no idiot.
Shut up. You're going to wake the whole house up.
I suppose you intend to throw me in the tar pits too.
Why not?
I'm afraid Monsieur Porkchop will have something to say about that. After all, he cares about me, doesn't he?
Why don't you take a nice moonlight stroll? Let's go.
Tell me first, how did you ever plan on getting your hands on the money? You weren't in either of the professor's wills.
You're smart.